is a very happy moment to have gone to these two countries, Japan and Russia, and had an experience, a global experience, a Nagaland Global Footprints, cultural diplomacy and international engagement. All the activities that had happened in Japan and Russia had been shown in the slide, and Abu had explained in detail. I will only touch upon my personal experience into this venture, visiting the two most developed and powerful countries by invitation as stated. Our visit to Japan and Russia both were by invitation. So government had spent our to and fro journey ticket and all the rest of five-star hotel facilities, of course five-star hotel, and food, dinner, lunch, breakfast, tour, vehicles, everything was paid by our host. We are not allowed to pay anything, and we are taken everywhere. And I am grateful to Government of India, External Ministry, and the Embassy for inviting us as state Nagaland. 6 states were invited, and in the Northeast, Nagaland was the only one. You see how Nagaland got the attention of the nation and of the world is our uniqueness. Britishers, when they came to our land, they protected us. They did not indulge into the rural local bodies. The customary law, the tradition were preserved. Even outsiders coming to our land, we were given protection. When we came to the Indian Union under a political agreement, it is said that as desired by the Nagas, Bengal Regulation of 1873 shall be enforced in Nagaland. And that's how today, in Nagaland regulation, our protection, everything under 371A of the Constitution of India. We are privileged. We are the only state who got land and resources. We are a special protected state. And for all these things, our leaders, former leaders, present leaders, we decided that we must protect, promote our culture, our tradition, our customary laws, our ethnic foods, our wares. And that's how Hornbill Festival started in a small way, bringing all the tribals in the state. Now, God's blessing, we found a permanent place, a site for Hornbill Festival, a festival of culmination of all the festivals of Nagaland state. But not only that, the northeastern states also participating. The state partners are there, country partners are there. This means we are growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why we became visible. And that's why we were invited. And I must congratulate our delegates and particularly cultural performers who did exceedingly well. And when they had gone back, we visited the St. Petersburg, came back to Moscow to fly to Delhi. The embassy of Russia, they said, we're going to give them certificate and you have to carry back and give it to them. So today's program, handing over the certificates of performing in Moscow, the celebration Bharat Utsav, celebration festival of India in Moscow city. And this, all our visit and report will be submitted to the External Ministry for record. So my heartiest congratulations to the performers and the officials and delegates, industry, tourism, and all the officials. In Japan, Abu had already made a mention of how Kochi Prefecture had invited us for signing a MOU for cooperation in human resources, placement and employment opportunities. And also the Peace Foundation, led by the Executive Director, Dr. Nobuko Kayashima. It is a very important organization. When we last visited Japan, they had hosted dinner for us also. And we had built up a good relationship with Japan. They are coming to Nagaland under JICA funding, doing all kind of conservations for forest and environment, climate change, and also livelihoods. They had already committed 400-bedded hospital in the Nagaland Institute of Medical Science and Research in Kohima. Their doctors and nurses will come and work along with our people. And then also teach their discipline, technology, language, so that and serve will be given 100% placement. And this Sasakawa Peace Foundation, focusing on future political and cultural exchanges. You remember a few years ago, last year, we developed Kohima Peace Memorial because in the Second World War, so many Japanese were killed here. The only thing they could do was come, visit, come, visit, come, visit. And in the 70s, they came with a map and dig out the mass graves, collect their bones, and been going, coming, collecting. And so at least today we build Kohima Peace Memorial. So any Japanese coming, they're coming and paying their respect in that site. On the inauguration, myself and the ambassador of Japan to India, Suzuki, our names are inscribed on the stone, and Kohima Peace Memorial, many of you might have seen, is written in English, but in Japanese language they had written. And that's how it is this was very important for Japanese, and we had been recognized for doing very good things to them. And so we will continue to have tie-up, to have more and better relationship in days to come. Arms cooperation, you know, as already said, partnership in education, language training, sports, capacity, and future collaboration, whatever suits us. They have an open mind. In fact, and also engaging with these industries, Connect Asia, between Japan and India. A friendship association of Japan in India. So, as mentioned, C.B. George, ambassador to Japan, hosted dinner for us. We had at length discussed. And all the activities, as mentioned, MOU, signed, all in the embassy, in presence of their people. You have seen some slide of photographs. These are wonderful and very historic. We had also gone to Osaka, where there was World Expo. It was beyond our imagination. Yes, we did visit Indian Expo, few others, but hurriedly. But Japanese, the officer as a guide took us. Their artifacts and their histories start with. But the real show was a big construction in a vast area. And they said, we'll go and see how human being has developed. A process of evolution and human being creation. We will, from starting to end, will be walking more than 2 kilometers. So we took a walk. And it was so amazing. Yes, Indian pavilion also was good. We had a chance of Abu had highlighted with presentation. I spoke at length about Nagaland and its people and welcoming them to visit us. During Hornbill, but our state is land of festivals. So any time is a right time. But the biggest time is the Hornbill Festival. So they also have a lot of things, including the Chandrayaan landed in the moon. But the main attraction was India Bazaar, where their goods were exhibited and sold. Very interesting. But Japan, how human being developed, and in the process how it grows from Stone Age to steel, to space, to computer, now to artificial intelligence, robot and artificial intelligence. We are at the peak of humanity. The cycle, again, you will go down. And if you're not careful of your environment, of your existence, of the environments, and if you destroy the elements which creates, example, the bees or the animals that pollinates and it gives flower, seeds and new generations. If we destroy that within no time, when there is no ecosystem, the human will vanish, will be destroyed. And maybe one day a human form will again develop with that little beating heart. So it's amazing, you can't imagine. Their thinking is future and even beyond that. A future thinking of exit of human being in this planet. And to regrow again. Wonderful. So, in Japan, it's so beautiful. Everything is clean. And their foods are too refined. We all enjoy it. And the embassy, the consulate in Osaka, they have done commendable jobs for us. Now, as mentioned, we came to India again and moved to Moscow. So Moscow, my experience, by invitation of Bharat Utsav, Festival of India in Moscow. It has been going for 9 days, and our state was performing the last part and the concluding, as mentioned, by Gujarat and Naga. Our culture cultural troops performance, our exhibition of tourism, our products were also all empty, so they have to ration. One day, limitation materials so that it lasts till the last day. And our clothes, our wares, all sold out. Our products, our necklaces, ornaments, all sold out. And our last closing was, their performance was outstanding, excellent. And it is more beautiful to see your own cultural performance in Japan than in Nagaland. I really congratulate you. And in the closing, I am told the Times of India carried that Nagaland cultural troops stolen the show. Beautiful. And everything okay. Our songs, our dances, our language. But the last song they performed was a very famous, popular Russian song. So, when we asked the crowd that this is a popular song, you must be knowing, so please join us. Then they start singing. Everybody started singing and clapping. That was a huge commotion. We are so happy and very proud of our cultural troops who perform for us. All this happened from a small beginning of Hornbill. And to promote that, remember, we had a road show to all the tribal districts to celebrate their tribal festival and to taste their ethnic food, their song, their dances, their arts, their music, their handloom, handicrafts. So today, everybody is asking, many countries wanted to be partner, but we have to wish. The other day I was having VC with Minister Neiphiu, and he said, I will come for Hornbill Festival. I said, sir, we'll surely invite you. Then later on, when we came to again close to that topic, he said, I'll come on first. I said, sir, first is overcrowded, you may get lost. So we'll fix a date and invite you. I said, I'll come. We are finding a suitable date for you. So, is Bharat Utsav, Festival of India, in Moscow, that really opened the eye of so many. And I think they were detained back to perform in other areas also. See, in demand. And I'm sure there will also be people visiting us, start to visit us. Now in Moscow, what attracted me, first thing was, the vehicles cleaning the road and two behind that spreading the water. Every day we saw when we go out. in somewhere or the other. It's so clean. And the flower arrangements, they plant a lot of trees. Also on the bridges, when they cannot plant, the flower pots are arranged and kept. Your street, placing flower pots and decorating. Who can do that? When we visited their historical place, United Soviet Union, each state done their house and selling and their concentrated or highlight of that state. We went around, we cannot see everything. It is too large. So after some time, we tell our embassy people to engage that electronic car, buggy, to take us around. We can't walk. In one of the shop, we went. And Russians are very good in chess. For a very long time they have been world champion. So when I saw a wooden chess board from that one state, it is so beautifully done, war carvings and this thing. So I bought one for my grandson, who had played Nagaland chess competition this time. He was extremely happy. So you can't go on explaining. But when everything was over after the festival, as mentioned, we had press interview, joined with our ambassador, and then the next morning, I was invited to the Russia Times International television broadcast. And the director received us and took us around the complex. It is too large. And I said, let me do my interview first. So we were taken up to the 6th floor and they had interviewed me. And after we went to the studio to see the live telecast that is going on. Since Russia Times International was banned because of war, but they are broadcasting 6 other channels in other languages so that it can reach people. See, we'll never be able to do that. And in many countries, they have studio to telecast for that particular country and that region. This RT International studio will be inaugurated in Delhi in October. We are informed. Because the friendship between India and Russia is very close from the start of India independence. A long story. So we had a very good time. Breakfast we have in our hotels. For lunch, we go out, we fix a time and place. Then the embassy people who are going with us. By the way, in Indian embassy in Russia, Moscow, the capital. Their staff and officers, they have 172 people. Every day, new officers, 2-3 of them, they come and take us for lunch, dinner. And when everything got completed, their railways, I have visited Russia before, and this time also. The underground trains or metros we are doing on top like Delhi, but Russia, it's underground. And they have completed and they have set up the statues of generals, of leaders, and they have a huge place like this hall. When there is war, the public can come and take shelter. These all were completed before World War I. Imagine. And the roads in the towns are 8 lanes or 10 lanes. And besides that, your by-lane, then pedestrian, and your buildings. After visiting China and Russia, I said, these two countries are bigger than big. And when we came to India or Nagaland, I find that we're smaller than small. Interesting. Now we took a train to St. Petersburg. 4 hours journey. But it is like sitting in the aeroplane. Very good seat, comfortable, reclinable, with headphone and with movies. So comfortably, and you get everything. Menu will be given, what you want, you'll be served. And the train travels so fast that I think I was not aware. Sometimes we go to sleep, we stop only for 4 or 5 stations, 1 minute. This is a bullet train. And what I see is when the train is crossing the city or habitation wall, not visible, not disturbing the city, habitation, or not crossing the railway line. And from Moscow to St. Petersburg, 4 hour journey. The whole way through is spent on both sides. And you see your cultivation, lake, then your forest and plantation. Nothing is empty. And everything is green, blue, water. And the vehicles that cross the railway lines, it go above or it go below. So, it is fantastic. We landed in the St. Petersburg. And it is more interesting that it is the center of activities. Your theaters, all kind of dramas, all kind of dances, ballet, and entertainment. There are huge cathedrals, temples, and there they call the city St. Petersburg, also known as a city of granites. They are full of granites only. There are big river that flows where the boats and ships are moving. City area, all wall. Even the cathedral temple we went. So if you want to go up to the top, you can go by the step. We went. And when you go up there, you can see the whole city. And you walk around. Very interesting. Unless we see, we can't imagine. We had gone to see the biggest museum in the world. It said you have to at least stay for 1-2 weeks, not 1-2 days, to see and to study. Too many collections and precious things. Centuries collection. We went to the St. Peter's Park, the palace, with full of water and fountains and forest. Trees are century and century old trees. Footpath, young and old, moving around. And in the end, you can see the palace. To go there, when you come there, only then, on the other side of the palace is the ocean. Such beauty, can't explain. One thing we have to remember was our visit to, as Vice Governor and Chairman of External Affairs. And by the way, this St. Petersburg is the place of Vladimir Putin, now who is ruling. And these gentlemen, the Vice Governor and Chairman and External Affairs, we went to meet with our Consul General, Nila Rani. She is a very smart lady and very commanding. And she knows Russian language like anybody. Then we went to see the gentleman there. He first spoke. He related about the city, about the relationship of Russia and India, and so many things. The interpreter was there, speaking in English, but their interpreter English also we cannot understand fully. But he said many things. So, on my side also, I start talking and I can't stop. But I say, let me say only that much. Then he said again, so I have to give my remarks. Then I start talking again. And I talk about how British came to India and ruled over India for over 200 years. And when British came to Naga Hills, Naga has no king, no leader, no governance. We have only tribal leaders, village leaders. And wisely or foolishly, we fought with British. We killed so many officers and political officers and their army officers. And because of that, fighting, using the neighboring kingdom which surrendered, their soldiers were used against Nagas. Many Naga warriors were killed. And to prove that, I want to tell you, I told you, in Oxford University, Peace River Museum, you all heard about it in the newspaper also. Naga Civil Society's group, they went to Oxford University Peace Museum. There is a human remains of the Nagas of 42 items, I think. And the other objects, artifacts and other thing is 178. So, after I wrote a letter complaining of this century exhibiting human remains, only 2020 they have stopped exhibiting publicly the human remains of the Nagas. And this visit in June, we are trying to repatriate these items. So the process is going. And why they have taken human remains? Why they have taken precious artifacts or antiques? Because we fought with them and they want to show their power. So they are telling stories exhibiting human remains. So obviously Russia and British were always fighting. So I'm only speaking a true story to them that we also fought with British. But today, friendship is built up and we hope to retrieve all these human remains and objects. So he was very interested again. His face shined and became alert when I was telling stories. So it's very interesting. And after we met him, now by the way, going to Russia, I saw only daylight. I did not see light, dark night. Particularly in St. Petersburg, we were taken to one top deck restaurant and they said that the sun will set around 11:30 at night. So we sat in such a position that we can see the clock tower, that is the railway. And so every time I was clicking with my handset, mobile, zoom it and clicking the hours. So even people were getting up to the rooftop and saying that it was summer and longest day. So they have daylight, 20 hours light. And night is known as 4 hours only. But they said, is it bright night? White night. So they don't see darkness. So that means you have to adjust. You see your clock, it is time to eat, you go, it is it's time to sleep, you sleep, otherwise you will not see the night because they are in the atmosphere. We had a wonderful time. Then we were taken to one souvenir shop. There are many things which we can buy also. But there are so many precious that were frozen in the snow and digged out. How you call it? Mammoth. Those precious stones. Even a small decoration piece is costing lakhs. They have huge 11 tasks also. They have different items, so many things. But anyway, we bought some clothing and they have everything. So like that, our journey to Japan and Russia. Internalization and our Nagaland Global Footprints. It is true, cultural and unique Nagas. People have gone all over the world, they have seen everything, but we are yet to be seen by many. And our identity, our culture, our traditions. And even when Britishers came, they called savage wisdom. We sing folk songs, we have folklore, we are cultivating with irrigations, we are doing things systematically. So they call us as savage wisdom. Today youth are educated and also protecting and promoting our culture. People really appreciate us. Even in the Northeast, all the state, they call it Hornbill, others name it differently also. They also started festivals, but not like Nagaland state. So, this is the talent, inborn talents of Nagas, and particularly our youth, our boys and girls, and even our children. These singers, performers who come here, some are elderly, but some are still very young. But they come as if he's just doing things naturally. So this should continue, and we should grow bigger and bigger and internationalized our strength. And I hope and pray that Naga unites and protect our rich culture tradition, our handloom handicrafts, and of course, our made in Nagaland. People will come to know us. Thank you, a big thank you to all of you for taking time to come and listening to us. And we all should work towards promotion, development of Nagaland state, which also is developing India. We call our state as land of festivals. India is called in India, incredible India. So India is big, it's diverse, and in the Indian functions international platform, selecting a state, we should From here, we should grow bigger and more visible. Thank you for your patient hearing and thank you for coming. God bless.